You sounded less like Seth Rollins and more like Drew McIntyre.
I don't like Phil. Seth Rollins called CM Punk cancer while shooting on him during interview throwback. CM Punk and Seth Rollins took somewhat similar paths to WWE and have been compared to each other at times. Punk versus Rollins is also a big part of the Shield's history, and their own saga continued when the Chicagoan returned to WWE in 2023. An extremely explosive occurrence between the two fueled the drama we're seeing currently. Punk and Rollins are at least able to work together now, as the first Raw of 2025 saw Punk win the 19-minute main event. This was a rematch of the final show of the Red Brand in 2013, where Punk won the 18-minute opener. The rivalry playing out on WWE TV in 2024 and 2025 is very interesting, as the Visionary's most savage remarks about the best in the world were made around 8 months before Punk's AEW exit. The Visionary has seen Punk as a cancer in the past. Speaking to Nick Hausman at a WWE 2K23 event during Royal Rumble weekend in 2023, Rollins was asked about the controversial AEW All Out 2022 incident, which turned chaotic after the Straight Edge Savior's post-show remarks aimed at the Elite, and if he wanted to see Punk back in WWE. Phil. Stay away. Stay away, you cancer. Get away from me forever. I don't like Phil. I don't like Phil. He's a jerk. Did we just figure that out? No. Everybody in the room is like, oh no. Dude, did he say that? Yeah. No, he's a jerk. Come on. We figured it out over there. We knew it over here. I don't want him back. Go do something else. Bye. See you later, Seth Rollins said. H/T to Fightful. WWE reportedly had plans to do CM Punk versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 41 in April. However, plans changed, and the match was moved up to Raw's Netflix premiere on January 6th. Punk is rumored to face names like Roman Reigns or Gunther at Mania, while Rollins is also rumored to face the Ring General, among others. Seth Rollins set for WWE SNME and Raw. WWE is gearing up for its final shows before the 38th annual Royal Rumble. The PLE is scheduled for Saturday, February 1st from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. The 38th Saturday night's main event will air tomorrow from Frostbank Center in San Antonio, Texas. WWE will then head to State Farm Arena for Monday's go-home episode of Raw. Seth Rollins has not been announced for any match or segment on either show, but he is advertised to appear by the promotion and the arena. CM Punk is not after next Friday's SmackDown. WWE will invade Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis for Royal Rumble. CM Punk was the first Raw superstar to declare his spot in the 30-man Royal Rumble, while Seth Rollins announced his entry the following week. CM Punk defeated Seth Rollins in a grudge match on the first episode of WWE Raw on Netflix on Monday night. The two certainly battled with demons driving their actions, taking the match all over the arena in an attempt to gain an edge. Rollins delivered a devastating pedigree on the announcer's desk before dragging Punk back into the ring and hitting him with another pedigree. Just when it seemed like the end for Punk, he kicked out just before the 3 count. Rollins followed up with a crushing curb stomp on a battered Punk, seemingly sealing the match. However, Rollins misjudged his distance to the ropes, allowing Punk to place his leg on the bottom rope and break the count. Out of nowhere, Punk delivered back-to-back GTS finishers, knocking out Rollins and securing the victory via pinfall. Monday's bout was a long time coming, as it was clear from the time that Punk returned to WWE at Survivor Series 2023 that Rollins had an issue with him and wanted to get his hands on him. All signs pointed toward a match between Punk and Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship happening at WrestleMania 40, but Punk got injured during the 2024 Men's Royal Rumble match, which caused him to miss multiple months. While Punk was out of action, he began feuding with Drew McIntyre, and he went on to have a trio of matches against McIntyre once he returned. Punk returned to the ring at Survivor Series 2024 by teaming with Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn in a War Games match, defeating the New Bloodline. Zayn initially tried to recruit Rollins for the War Games team, but Rollins turned him down due to his disdain for Reigns. Rollins then seemed to take issue with Punk agreeing to help Reigns out. Rollins and Punk engaged in a war of words on multiple occasions, both on Raw and during the press conference to promote Raw's move to Netflix. The visionary criticized Punk for leaving WWE in 2014 and for trying to take some level of credit for WWE's success, since he was among the company's top stars while Punk was out of the picture for nearly a decade. Rollins also called Punk a bootlicker, leading to the adversaries coming to blows in a wild brawl through the crowd on a recent episode of Raw. Raw general manager Adam Pearce made a match between them official for Raw's Netflix debut, and although Punk was victorious, the rivalry is likely far from over. CM Punk and 3 other WWE stars who can interfere in Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre on Raw tonight. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre will clash in a rematch tonight. A WrestleMania 40 rematch between Seth freaking Rollins and the Scottish Piscopath Drew McIntyre is set for the January 20th episode of WWE Monday Night Raw, which will emanate from the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. This will be their first meeting since their World Heavyweight title clash at WrestleMania 40, where McIntyre emerged victorious and ended Rollins' title reign at 316 days. Ahead of their clash, let us take a look at 4 WWE stars who might interfere during the match tonight on Monday Night Raw main event. Jey Uso is currently scheduled to lock horns with Gunther at the upcoming Saturday night's main event, where Gunther's World Heavyweight title is on the line. Jey recently gained momentum after defeating McIntyre in a grudge match at the Raw debut episode on Netflix. McIntyre was battling Jey in his quest to take out every member of the OG bloodline. However, Jey was able to roll him up to get the win. The win also shattered Drew's perfect unbeaten record against him. Jey will likely interfere in the match to further hinder Drew's momentum. He also has good ties with Rollins and might help him with the clash. As mentioned above, McIntyre is on a mission to hunt every member of the OG bloodline, and he kicked off his quest by targeting Sami Zayn in his return last month. Drew decimated Zayn to pick the win at the December edition of SNME and continued his undefeated streak against Zayn. Zayn is set to appear in a segment on this week's episode, and he might also make an appearance during the clash between Rollins and McIntyre to settle the score with the Scottish psychopath. Roman Reigns. The OTC Roman Reigns has been absent from WWE programming since reclaiming the Ula Fala and defeating Solo Sikoa in the historic debut of the Red brand on Netflix. McIntyre, on the other hand, has been obsessing over taking down the OG bloodline and the OTC. While Seth Rollins has a long history with Reigns and has time and again reiterated his hatred for the OTC, the OTC might decide to target one of the 2 stars in their match to set the score straight and send a stern warning to the dissidents waiting in the wings. That's CM Punk. Similar to Reigns, the Second City Saint, CM Punk too has problems and long-standing animosity against Rollins and McIntyre. He recently defeated Rollins in the debut episode of the Red brand.